Today, my guest is Kearney. Kearney is a captivating figure who is quickly making a name for herself on the national political stage. With her recent announcement to run for governor of Washington State in the 2024 election, she is set to become a prominent figure in the political landscape. However, Elona is far from an average politician. She strives to be seen as a person of the people, dedicated to removing labels and promoting unity. Elona is a forgiveness coach who fearlessly shared her personal journey in her book, which is called Purely Unadulterated Me. She delves into profound and powerful topics, including her experiences with sexual trauma, abuse, bullying, love addiction, and the process of forgiveness, self-healing, and single parenthood. Through her book and public discussions, Elona offers a rare glimpse into her path of self-improvement from a traumatic past. Elona's professional background is equally impressive. She served as a computer analyst and office manager in the United States Army, contributing to the unit's commendable rating during the organization inspection program. She excelled as an educator at One Accord Christian Academy, ensuring a positive and inclusive learning environment for students in the modeling industry. She assisted in training models and managed their careers, demonstrating her versatility and commitment. As a public speaker and event planner for Love Always, Elona shares her inspiring story and creative artistry, incorporating paintings and music into events. She has also taken on leadership roles, such as serving as Vice President of the Veteran of Foreign Wars, VFW Post 1263, where she fundraises for soldiers overseas and presides over meetings. Additionally, she interned as part of the SVA Legislative Fellowship, drafting research papers, presenting bill proposals, and advocating for student veteran childcare vouchers. Elona's community engagements extends to various roles, including serving as a student leader at a Renton Technical College, where she participated in committees and clubs, advocated for student interests, and promoted diversity and inclusion. Elona Kearney is a force to be reckoned with, driven by a determination to make a difference in the life of Washingtonians. Her unwavering commitments, coupled with her personal and professional experiences, position her as a transformative leader and an inspiration to all those she encounters. As she continues her journey in politics, there is no doubt that Elona Kearney will leave an indelible mark on Washington State and beyond. Let us meet Elona. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Gaby U Show. So today I have an amazing guest, Elona Kearney. Elona, welcome to the Gaby U Show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So we are going to just go straight away into my Gaby U icebreaker questions. So the first thing I want to ask you, what is your favorite food?
My favorite food is German chocolate.
Oh, German. Okay.
Yeah.
What is the deal with the German chocolate?
It to me has like, okay, so you have the chocolate, and me, I'm not a chocolate cake eater. because
Okay.
everybody's chocolate cake might be dry or something wrong. But the German chocolate is like it has this layer with the coconut and all the things that I'm not big on. Like I'm not big on
Yes.
caramel and stuff, but this combination, it is delicious.
Oh, okay now.
And I just
I
went
mean,
to a fair and somebody made something kind of like it, but she made it kind of different. She had the German chocolate with this buttercream topping and the coconut stuff. And I was like, oh.
hmm, okay. Just you saying coconut. I love coconut, everything coconut. So you just
Okay.
saying coconut, that's all I needed to hear, and I love that.
Yeah.
Because for the rest German, because I know I've heard this German chocolate. Probably I've eaten it without knowing, but not
Okay.
really, it's not something you see every day. So
No, it's not.
yeah, so I'm gonna be exploring that too. I'm a foodie girl, so that's why I'm like, oh, I want my guests to tell us what they like, building my list.
Yes.
Thinking about it, maybe I would do that. All the guests I've had, all these your favorite foods, and put it in a list like a little. That was,
Sound
yeah,
like a potluck now.
yes. I just got this idea now. Yeah, get a list.
Yeah.
My guest favorite foods, the list. That I think I'm gonna do it. A project I'll do.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the next thing I want to ask you is, what is your favorite quote? Because I know we all have all these quotes, but we have this particular one we just hang on. So I want to hear that. What is that one?
So I've coined one from a book that I wrote, and so the quote that I came up was a slogan says, "Be a promotion, not the emotion." But the longer version says, "Be a promotion of healing and of forgiveness, and not the emotion of a traumatic past."
Oh, wow. Powerful. That's a good one. Oh my goodness. Yes, yes, yes. That is very good. Love that. Wow. Yeah, you guys are listening and writing this down. I'm always telling you, you guys listening, they'll be writing all these things we are talking about. This is a good one. Put it on your fridge somewhere in the room, wherever you see them. I think that's
Yeah,
one.
learn to be a promotion of something, whatever you're feeling in that moment. If it's a negative thing, find the positive. So be a promotion of that and
Mm,
not the emotion of whatever that negative feeling is, or
yes.
or promotion of that positive thinking and not the emotion of that negative, whatever came up. And
Mm.
then we start to change our mindset and start to attract and have more things, better things, positive things happening.
That's true. It's kind of something I've heard about, how you can change the channel. It's very easy to fall in the negative channel. Very easy.
Yeah.
So it's changing that mind when that negative thoughts, all that coming, you change it to that positive. I think that kind of links to what the quote you just said. It's something we have to keep working on. It's like we talk about working your muscle. It's
Yes.
mindset reset. You have to keep on doing
Yes.
that, and then you can now it gets better. And the so the negative voice start becoming less and the positive become louder as you keep doing it. Yes, it's not
Yep.
gonna be happy all the time, but hey, we can still have some control here and change that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right. So what I want you to share with us, I want you to share with us what you believe has shaped you to be this woman you are today, from your victories, your struggles, is it from career, relationships, everything. Like, just the floor is yours. Just go say as much as you can. We got time.
Okay. You know, I mostly say that raising my kids have shaped me, but too, it would also be everything all the way up to having them because we go through experiences. So when I was growing up, I was in and out of the hospital for suicide and depression.
Mm,
And I felt like I didn't have any purpose. Like, why am I here? Everything was just, I could never find the positive or the hope in anything. And like just things was always happening, but being bullied because I was biracial
mm,
and just not ever fitting in. And so there are people, like you have people who come along the way that do some nice things for you here and there. And you never feel like, oh, that was good enough. Like that moment gave you a break. But when I had my kids, and my thing was I never want them to ever feel this type of depressed. I never ever want them to feel like they have no purpose or go to the depths of how I felt. So I'm going to teach them opposite of what I mentally taught myself. So in doing so, some of those experiences of people who have touched my life, and even some of those people who may have done horrible things to me, I started to open up and see, because my kids would say different things like I would just have triggers. Somebody do something, it triggers a bad memory, and you lash out at that person, and my kids would break down crying. Even if I thought that I was taking up for my kids and protecting them, that's not what they saw. They felt bad for the other person, like that was the victim. And then they would tell me these stories that they would learn in elementary school and say, they told me a story about a love bucket one time, and how when you hurt other people, when you say these things, you're stealing from their love bucket and you're being selfish and all this other stuff. And it would just make me cry. And so it's like I learned a lot of things from my kids than me just thinking that, oh, I know from my experience and this is how I should treat people because this is how I've been treated. Whereas kids always have that resilience and
Mhm.
forgiveness. And although people see things as naive, it's not always naive. You still learn to be say aware of your surroundings, but I always learn to give people the benefit of the doubt. Doesn't mean that me forgiving them means I let them in my circle to do certain things, but I know how to love people from afar, to know that this person needs help, and whatever help I can offer them that does not hurt me, I will offer that help, because if they're not healing and they're not growing, then I'm helping them contribute to the world being worse than better.
Yes. Oh, wow. And that's the thing too. You know, and I see a lot of mothers too, even me personally, that you learn from your kids a lot. It's not always that, yeah, they are learning from us. We
Yes.
learn from them too, because again, the thing of what you mentioned, something about saying, people say naive, that okay, because they are young or they are kids, they are naive, but they tell you the truth.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a reflection of sometimes when they make some comments to tell you, Mom, this
Yeah.
don't we shouldn't put that aside, because we have to go back, and even at that moment when they say stuff, you'll be like, you don't understand, you are not an adult, you don't know. But you know what? To go sit
They were
down.
like, Mom, remember when you told me I had to? So how come you don't?
Yes. you know and that's the thing, and I know I've mentioned it in some of my episodes about how we should be looking at some of the things we do for in the front of our kids. Like I mentioned one, I think it's a pastor or a speaker, and he said kids are like moving cameras in your house. You think they
Yeah.
don't pay attention, and he went further to say that when they are little, they will listen to you, but when they grow up, they will
They're
do
gonna play it back.
they have seen you been doing. So because
Yes.
they're little, they feel like, okay, I have to respect mom, but when they grow up, it's not what you've been saying, it's what they've been seeing you doing. And yeah, we do learn a lot from them.
Yeah.
And there was a particular thing I wanted you to talk more. I know towards the end we'll talk, I mean, and we kind of know what you do, but there was one of the things that talking about you as a forgiveness coach.
Coach. Yes.
I have never heard any forgiveness coach, so I want you to talk on that. How did you come to be that? From your live relationship, how?
Yes. So when I was going through like my healing process, I just started writing everything about my what you call it, about why I was suicidal, what brought me there, and how certain things made me feel about, like whether I dealt with another person who may have resembled something or trigger me in some type of way. And like I said, I wrote about those experiences from my kids that was helping me through those things. But to when I started writing, I noticed that like the first time I wrote, I just wrote everything. Like late in life, if I had cuss words in my head, they were in that paper. And I went through all of that. And then my what is it, my computer chip, what is it, the floppy disk, that's what we had back then, got messed up, so I had to start all over. And then something happened to the next, I think there was an error in the other disk that I had, or everything kept happening. So when I finally sat down and finally wrote, because at first I wasn't going to write it again, when I sat down and wrote, I sat there, and as I wrote, I said, I'm going to write about my present, past, and future. So presently, this is what has, these are the things that I do and how I respond to them. And then I connected it to the past of what those things are. And then I will rewrite the future. So when I rewrote the future, I said, wait a minute, forgiveness is, because one of the paragraphs that I write in there was about when I was growing up in church, how they used to always say, forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you. Like, and I was like, how? Because they need to apologize, they need to get this right, they hurt me, blah blah blah. And then somebody and then I said, well, how do people get forgiveness if somebody died? They can't go back and get that retribution or reconciliation. So then that person just stuck with that. And then I had all of these things that came up, and then I came around to forgiveness is not forgiving and letting go, and that those emotions will never be there. You never feel them again. It's forgiveness is learning how to set boundaries. And it's like if I buy this house and I don't like the color of the paint on this wall, and if I accept it because it's there, I have no choice. But I either approve it or disapprove it. If I approve of it, it's going to stay there. If I disapprove, then I'm going to paint it or pay somebody else to come and remove it. So that's the same thing with our lives. Doesn't matter what has happened, how you don't react, stop reacting, learn how to respond. So if I don't like how when I go to family events, people are talking negative and gossiping, then that means you're accepting it and you're approving it because you constantly go and participate. You have the right to set boundaries and say, no, I don't want to come if it's just going to be gossip. I want to come and I want to be a part of something productive. Or I don't want, like, if somebody is a thief, you're not going to leave your purse with them. And whatnot. So it's learning how to set boundaries with people, because we constantly feel violated and we get upset and we feel re-trigger, and we have the triggers because we have no boundaries. When we have boundaries and we have consequences to go with those boundaries, then people start to respect those boundaries and understand that this is the new you and who you are. So that's what forgiveness coaching is, helping to dig down and find what boundaries need to be set.
I love that. And a lot of us, we need that.
Yeah.
Because, it's kind of have to making yourself free. It's amazing when you release that. It's just so much freedom. And I'm saying that because I have had to go through that a lot of the times with different programs here and there, that small groups, all this stuff. And
Yeah.
sometimes you don't even realize, and if you
Yeah.
have a very good mentor, a coach, they will take you through that journey. And just to release yourself from and be open for forgiveness, and
Yes.
realizing that, oh my goodness, I thought I have forgiven, but
Yeah.
like it was half baked forgiveness
Okay.
you did. And
Yeah.
something that, if right now I'm saying that if you're listening to this, any of you feel like you're going through stuff and you have this heaviness in your mind, sometimes it's to start looking that, there are so many other things, of course, but looking at if you are really having that unforgiveness, in you, or there's people you want to forgive. And And these people, you don't have to go to them and say, I have forgiven you. No, you don't have to.
Right. Say actions speak louder than words, so
Yes.
they'll get it.
I mean, if you have the chance to tell them, they might not
Yeah.
even know. I mean, that, oh,
Yeah.
she still has, it's been 20 years. I thought we were done with that. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you have the
Yeah.
chance to tell them that you forgive them and share, and but if not, um, you just do it on your own. Help yourself first, okay? And that's
Yeah.
it's like you said from the beginning, hearing that when they talk it up in church, like it is
Yes.
not for the other person, it's for you. And yes, it is for you, because again, there are many people out there, they're just enjoying their life that you don't want to forgive, and you are here suffering yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was one with one of the groups I was doing one time. They were talking about something. Somebody talked about what forgiveness is, that or being unforgiven. If you are holding this grudge on somebody, he said it's like you're trying to drink poison, and you are expecting that the poison is going to injure that person. I think that's the way to put it. I don't know if it's exactly like that.
Yes.
Like it's like, I think another way to put it is like you're burning yourself, and you are expecting that person should be burning.
All right. Yeah. Almost like you poured a cup poison in your own cup
Yes.
and you start drinking, but you think this is gonna affect them. No.
Yes. Yeah. So I thought
Yeah.
that was a very good way to when you visualize that. And especially I'm saying this because I know there's somebody here probably you have holding on all these years, because you definitely, the person may be, of course, hurt you so bad, and you are just holding on. And just think about this thing I said. And
Yeah.
when you think about that, you will be like, you know what, I'm gonna let it go and move forward with that. Yes. And I like, and this is the thing I've seen, we have all these things that happen in our lives that's supposed to cause I mean, probably did cause issues, but now we're changing that around and using it to do better.
Yes.
And I know we have a lot of options here in life. As long as you're breathing, they can change stuff around. And this is one thing I always say, on my podcast, changing the lemon into sweet lemonade, not just regular lemonade, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Add the sugar.
Yes. Get it a little sweet, not sour, you know.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's awesome to hear that, yeah, I would need you to talk more about that, because I'm sure when people hear that, and it's not very common to hear that somebody's a forgiveness coach. So that is really good. Yeah. So what would you say you are most proud as a woman today?
Um, when my kids, well, actually seeing that my kids are flourishing and growing. I know nobody's kids are ever perfect, and my kids are always like, Mom, sorry I disappointed you. And they don't even really do anything big, but they think it's still a disappointment. And I'm like, you don't disappoint me. I just always want you to learn and grow. And being perfect is not something that I look
Mm,
for them to do, but the fact that I know that you are conscious and self-conscious and aware of your actions and how
yes.
they affect others, and you do reassessments of yourself, to me that's that's good. That's good. Like, even if you mess up or you don't do anything, yeah. So I said, you could probably get bad credit, but you turn around and you learn from it and you do
Yes.
better. I'm still proud of you,
Mm,
because it's about the learning and the growth in the process.
mhm.
So, I'm proud that I raised and been an example of my kids of always willing to learn.
That is so good. And that's the thing, we cannot be especially when they are, grown now on their own. We can't be everywhere. And stop them, even when they are still with us. Even, it can be everywhere. And, sometimes, I don't know, I would say unfortunately, sometimes we have to let them make their mistakes and learn from it, and,
Yes.
they get better. And they learn from it and learn and get better. So we can't be there. I mean, I know as moms, we wish we could be every step of there, holding their hands and make sure they don't make that same mistake you make, you know.
Yes.
But I mean, as long as they don't go too far away, but they're able to turn around and you can say, now, can you listen to me? I told you before.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, that is great. Yeah. So, what are some of the encouraging words you want to give this person listening today? I know we've talked a lot of encouraging stuff, but I always want to kind of just round it up and
Yeah. I would say, don't ever feel like you're not enough or not good enough. So, like whatever it is you want to do, go do it. I know some people will say, oh, well, you need this in place or you need that. And then you start, was it tallying up everything that they say that you need and you see, oh, I can't afford this. Even if I was to save up for 15 years, I can't afford this. I would say don't look at those things. Don't let people put things on it. You make the notes of, okay, I need these things, or these things are helpful to help me to be the top-notch success. But what people like to see is grassroots. They like to see your journey. And some people, and you got a lot of people out here who like to be a part of your journey of grassroots, of watching you grow and being part of that growth. So that way, when you do become this big thing, they're like, I was there with her from the beginning, or I was
yes.
there with him and I supported him. So don't ever feel like you're not enough. You're always enough. That's the same thing I go through with running for governor. Is I run a grassroots campaign. I don't have millions of dollars. I don't have a family with, my family doesn't even live here. So I'm in a state where a lot of people don't know me. And last year when I started, it was like just me, my husband, and my two kids.
Mm,
And now I have like a team of, like other people who volunteer their time when they get off of work saying, okay, what can we do? We need to put this out. We're going to go knock on some doors. We go stand over the highways and hold up a big banner. I don't have money for a billboard to hold a billboard. So I'm my own billboard. And hopefully next year we'll be much further along because we're like, she was out there holding up her own billboard. We're gonna help give her a billboard. But I don't sit here, if I sit here and say I'm not enough or I don't have enough, I will never at least be to where I am right now. And
mm,
next year I expect to be much further along. So always know that you are enough.
mm. That is so amazing. And and that's the thing, you going through this process, contesting to be the governor of Washington State. That is amazing. To hear you and putting all the thing that you will win, like, oh, I knew her, knowing from the
Yeah.
grassroots. You will hear her podcast here, like, when
Yeah.
she's sharing her story, and that is the thing, we have to start, because if you don't start, how would you know what to refine? How would you know you know how to do it? Because a lot of people say, I don't know how to do stuff, but somehow you got to start, and then you would know that, okay, this is not for me. And of course,
Right.
sometimes you will know this is for you, you get and go do it. But again, there are some people that they know this is what they're going to do, they go for it, but again, they don't have the resilience. So it's just kind of those things here and there. And some people, they don't know half of what you know, and they are doing stuff, you
Yeah.
know. It's like, what makes them different? Because they're like, I don't care, I'm going to learn as I go. you know
Yeah. It's
we
the
need to
ambition.
Yes, we need to stop being this perfection thing that we do. It
Yes.
sometimes becomes a problem. Everything has to be in place. I have to have this. I have to have the money. I have to have, but you have to just keep going and get it
Just
on.
do you. Yeah.
Yes. And then you will be like, yes, I tried. and I will say this again in this podcast, I'd rather be in a place where I have said I tried it than being in a place where I would say, how would that have been? No, 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 no. I don't want to be there. How would it have been? It's not a good place to be. It's very distressing, sleepless night.
Yes.
So yes. So you know that. And
Yep. Yep.
I'm sure when probably try when you probably talk to people around that you want to contest for governor, for Washington State, we're like, how are you gonna do that? Ooh, I mean, tell us about this journey of
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Yep.
yeah, like tell me, like, did you
Oh,
seem to have
about journey.
yes, about
Oh, yeah.
you wanting to be into this? What have you, I mean, the positive, negatives, if
The
you
positive, negative.
okay to share
So
that.
like the well, let's start with negatives first. The negatives would be, like there at the beginning, it was kind of like, yeah, if I run for governor, nobody knows me, and they're gonna be like, oh, she's not qualified. She's never, you know, sat in the political seat and all of those type of things. And then I've even had some bigger people who have monies like, what values are you willing to compromise for
Mhm.
us to pay for you to help you with your campaign? And so I said none because I'm really actually tired of bought and paid for politicians. And
Yes.
I'm not a career politician. So that would be the negatives. But the positives is when I thought about it, I said, there has to be, if I feel this way of being tired of career politicians and crooked politicians, that means there's a whole bunch more of me out here that we've just been waiting for someone to step up to the plate and say, hey, I'll go to bats for I'll take one for the team.
Yes. Yes.
So so that's been, like the positive thing that always keeps me going is that I'm not alone. It might feel like I'm alone sometimes, but I'm not alone because I
Mhm.
talk to people all the time who say the same exact things of when I was on their side, which is why I know what to say
Mhm.
because I'm I always say that I'm not running for governor. We're running for governor because I
Mhm.
have a story that relates to every Washingtonian. So
Yes. That's awesome. Yes. I mean, and that's the thing too, of course, in life, even the best thing you say you want to do, there's always going to be that
yeah.
number of people that will say, yeah, what you think you're doing? But again, yes, this is it a quote from Gandhi? Maybe it's Gandhi, I'm not sure, but it said, be the change that you want to see in the world, you know?
Yes.
Because if you say, okay, there's a need for a change, and it's like, okay, who's gonna do it? Nobody like me. Okay, I'm gonna be the one because I know what I want to change.
Yes.
Somebody gotta step up and do this. We can't have the same kind of people with the money or whatever popularity.
Right.
So that is the thing. So how can people connect with you?
Well, I'm on social media. My all of my handles are I have at Elona, Elona for Gov, FORGOV. That's my handle on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I'm gonna open up a Twitter. It's gonna, of course, that is gonna be the same handle.
Okay.
And I also have my book. It's on my Facebook page, which is the Love Always dot Forgiving. So
Mhm.
that's the handle to go to where my book
Okay.
is. So,
Okay. And I mean,
and if
projects,
you,
of course, your
oh,
project. What are the
yeah,
apart from? I
yeah.
mean, your big project right now is trying to.
Run for governor. And my
Yes.
page right there is peoplebeforeparty.com. So
Okay.
everything on there, like I said, anybody can donate. Doesn't matter where you live. You can volunteer for certain things, like might not be able to volunteer physically, but there are things that people can help with online with
Mm,
getting the word out and probably help marketing and those type of things. So we're
mm.
open to getting help from everywhere.
Okay, that's good. So, that is the thing. You don't have to be in Washington State to say that you cannot help. You can do so many things, virtually. You can help, there is to donate, to help, because, of course, running for governor is not easy. It involves time, it involves money. So,
Yes.
in Washington State, of course, you go out there, if not, there's so many ways online, and so you gonna check her in all these links she has mentioned. Connect with her there, see how can be supportive, and see and you can learn a lot too from her too. She has her books as well.
Yes.
So all these links I will be putting it in the description area, so you guys, if you're watching it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and any other place you can hear the podcast, you will see all those description things, all those things in the description area.
And
So
if they want to be part of history, I'm
yes,
looking for editors and stuff. So, because I'm trying to do also a documentary at the same time. So when I win, I
yes.
will I will be the first Black woman in the history of the United States to be governor. So
Oh,
I'm trying to document that at the same time, so that way I don't have to
yeah.
try somebody come do a documentary. I'm like, I got to think of all this stuff. So
Yes.
anybody want to help with that stuff too? We looking
Oh,
for all of that.
okay. So when you say an editor, like to document what, like the whole.
Like, yeah, like we can film and record, and while we're
Okay.
out and there, just create a documentary and probably
Okay.
do like we're doing interviewing, even if it's
Yes.
over over line, but somebody can
Mm.
create a docu series or a documentary of the whole thing.
Okay, that would be awesome. So you guys are listening, connect with her.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that would be amazing. And Alona, I am so glad that you joined me today for this episode. And we'll keep connecting. And it's a great pleasure to have you here in my podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, people, this comes to the conclusion of the Gabby U show today. And I'm going to end it with one of my favorite quotes from Maya Angelou. She says, "When you know better, you do better." Okay, people, see you next time. Bye-bye.